Welcome back. I still have here with me Kemi Ogunkoya, a management consultant. Now, earlier on, you spoke about your journey so far in this business, which I find quite interesting. In terms of this leadership development and all of that, we really need that in this country.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
Where we have leaders that we're proud of, and what they say is what it really means a lot and all of that. All right, now I would just like to know how you manage to balance everything as a leadership strategist and also as a management consultant. You're a mom of two beautiful children. You're a wife. So how do you start your day?
All right, so my day starts with pretty much just looking through my list of to-dos and now being in that place of gratitude and prayers. So I start my day just giving thanks and spending time with myself. After which, it's getting the kids set for the day. If they have to go to school, well, COVID has pretty much turned all of that on its head now, but pretty much getting them set for school. And after which, I need to get on my desk.
Exactly.
And pretty much depending on the day, it would require me either going for trainings or probably traveling. But then what keeps me focused and being able to integrate, because I don't think we can achieve anything close to balance, right? But pretty much getting to that point where I can integrate my many roles in life is being very clear as to what really matters to me, right? So in all of my different phases as a management consultant, as a leadership expert, as a coach to some, as a mom, as a wife, I'm very clear as to what is the most important thing to me, and my family comes, really top on that list. So yeah. There are times I need to work, there are times I need to be away, away for a week or two. I have a strong support system,
Very important.
that able to step in that place for me. I have a spouse who is very supportive. I have a mom, I have, siblings, I have cousins who pretty much can stand in that gap for me. So it's more about being clear as to the most important things to me, and then being sure that through it all, I'm not losing sight on my values, and my family.
Very important.
Thank
Like
you.
they say, family first.
Yeah.
Now, when do people actually realize that they need a management consultant?
All right, so that question, I think would have different answers depending on what part of the world you're asking me from. So maybe if you're asking, people in probably the developed countries, they will tell you, oh yeah, we know that when we're going into business, one of the things you're looking at is having a consultant to walk you through the journey. But then in this part of the world, you have people who pretty much want to fix it by themselves, and then they get to that point of, you know what, I can help myself. Who can help me? Where's the management consultant that can help me through this? So I think the point of need for quite a couple of individuals, organizations is totally different. For some, they would come at that point where they're about to set up, such that they are able to leverage the experiences of this consultant and know exactly what to do, so that they don't have to, go on an endless chase or being in that place of frustration where they really don't have the answers. For some, it is at that point where they feel that internal competencies may not produce the results that they want. And at that point, they think, they should bring in consultant. For some, however, it is at that point when everything has gone wrong, right? When everything has gone wrong and they're looking for people to help them fix the system. So I think it pretty much would depend on, the circumstances and who is the organization or the person that we're looking at in the case.
I see. Now, what are some of the challenges you faced along the line in terms of running this business? Because I'm sure you must have some challenges.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them. But let's put the pandemic aside, because that one is a given.
Absolutely. All right, challenges. Wow. Managing a business in this part of the world, I think,
it's not an
requires
easy one at all.
special grace, special powers, and all of that. But then, when we're looking at basic denominators, like challenges that pretty much would cut across a lot of businesses, it would be around, being able to run on proper infrastructure, right? Having that proper infrastructure that can help us build and develop businesses where we don't have to worry about electricity, we don't have to worry about lights and quite a couple of things. Another thing will be access to finance. right? There are a lot of businesses that want to even expand, but then yeah, we have a lot of we have a bit of interventions here and there, but then you know, you're trying to get say for example a loan, and then you're being asked to go bring, you know, collateral that you probably cannot even find or even afford, or then so pretty much that makes it difficult. Then I also think the terrain in terms of people understanding the kind of services that you offer, it's also a major challenge in this part of the world. A lot of people think, you know what, that's a good to have, not necessary to have, and you know, it pretty much makes it a longer journey for you to help people understand that they need or they require the services that you bring to the table. So I think those are some of the basic challenges: infrastructure, you know, access to finance or capital, and yeah.
Well, let's go back to leadership. Now, as someone who is into leadership strategy, looking at the leadership abroad, let's use United States of America, you understand, and what we have here in Nigeria. Would you say we're actually practicing democracy?
All right. So the honest truth is no, right? The honest truth. So we're practicing something that looks like democracy, but then we're actually not. And I would say that for every nation, right, I think it's important for nations to understand what really works for them. Democracy, of course, is pretty much an adopted practice, but I think as you know, as a nation, really need to sit down and say, okay, what really works for us? What kind of political structures can we put in place that is unique to us, unique to our style, unique to our ideologies, you know, that can help us pretty much get results. A major difference would be that of accountability here and there. Okay, that you know, in other parts of the world, you have certain systems in place that keeps you know, nation builders or politicians accountable. Unfortunately, we have some of those practices on paper here, but then it's rarely executed because you have some mighty men up and there who are able to tweak the system and make it work in their favor. So in as much as I won't say that, you know, it's a perfect system in the United States, for example, in any other part of the world, I would say that until we start having, you know, systems of accountability, then democracy will just be a joke for us.
How have you managed to carve a niche for yourself despite the competition out there? Because there are lots of people who are into this kind of thing, you know, in terms of, we could even start from motivational, you are into leadership, and as well as management consulting and all of that. So what makes you stand out? What do you bring to the table?
All right. So I always say that I start from that place of being clear as to what you serve and who you serve, okay? So for me, it's been that journey of clarity, which, you know, I'm currently in that place now where people can think leadership and they can think me, okay? Because I've been able to micro niche down to transitional leadership. So when we're talking about developing leadership competence within organizations, then I'm that go-to person that you can say, oh, you know what, let's bring Kemi on board. But beyond that, it's been about, you know, the uniqueness of the transformation that, you know, I've been able to bring for clients. And I pretty much think that's why a lot of organizations are committed towards partnering with our organization, for example, because of the transformation that we bring. So I think just pretty much staying in that place where, you know, and I would say this for free, that when I started out in business, I was a general business consultant. You know, you bring finance, oh yeah, I'm into finance. You bring, you know, yeah, pretty much just putting my hands on everything. But then it got to that point where I understood, you know what, that even as a management consultant, with the best of strategies, right, deficient leadership will flaw strategy anytime. So it was pretty much, you know what, how are we able to fix it from the root? Which was what led me to that part of leadership and being able to effectively communicate and help businesses see what the problem is and seeing how I can help them fix it based on, you know, things that we have done for other organizations, pretty much just sets me apart, because I'm not trying to be everybody and I'm not trying to serve
Can I
everybody.
call you Mrs. Fix-It?
I'm Mrs. Fix-It, Fix Leadership, that's who I am.
Wow, this has been really interesting, very
Absolutely.
engaging indeed. I've learned quite a lot regarding management consulting and also leadership strategy and, you know, what our leaders need to do. But at this point, we'd love you to do one last thing before you go, and that's for you to give us your 5 business lessons for a budding entrepreneur.
All right, fine. So yeah, 5 business lessons for budding entrepreneurs. Number 1 would be vision. Yogi Berra says that if you do not know where you are going, you're going to wind up somewhere else. So as a leader who is ready to take their place in this VUCA world, and by VUCA I mean this volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, you need to know exactly what you want to achieve. Have a tunnel vision that cuts out all the distractions for you. The other thing, or the second thing, number 2, is that you need to be flexible. You know, you need to be flexible. You need to be flexible in your mind and not hold on to traditional beliefs or ways of doing things. The world that we live in today is highly dynamic and things are changing at the speed of light. So as a business leader who wants to remain competitive in today's business world, it is important that you're flexible. The third thing that you need to know how to do is that you need to be thirsty and hungry for new information. As a business leader, you cannot afford to hold on to obsolete ideas or obsolete information, which means that you're constantly learning, you're constantly relearning, and you are constantly unlearning, such that you are, you know, pretty much in that place where you're privileged with new market information, data, and insights that can help you grow. The fourth thing you need to do is that you need to understand the place of collaboration. A lot of times business leaders go into business and then they think they can do it all by themselves. If you want to excel and succeed in today's business world, you need to understand the place of leveraging on certain uniqueness of others and then bringing it together with your own so that you can achieve. The fifth thing is that as a business leader who wants to succeed in today's business world, you need to understand the place of quickness, or let me say agility, which means that you're able to think through situations and you are able to respond immediately. So those are my special 5, and thank you.
Wow, lovely business lessons. I must say, you definitely broke the record here on Amazing Amazon. Very unique.
Thank you.
I love the place, the part you mentioned about collaboration, understand the place of collaboration, flexibility.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the first time I'm hearing this on the show. Flexibility, you have to be flexible. I mean, look at the pandemic, who took people unawares.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? You need to be flexible. And of course, vision. You must have a vision. Thank you so much for coming on Amazing Amazon today. It was truly amazing having you on the show.
I had a great time. Thank you.
I'm glad you did.
All right.
Well, we've come to the end of this engaging interview with Kemi Ogunkoya, a management consultant who is passionate about transforming brands in Nigeria. Stay tuned for more on this show, and remember to stay safe. And that's all we have for you on Amazing Amazon today. Hope you were inspired. I'm Oyinlala Saleh. Remember, your limitation is only your imagination.